I'm Reed Collins. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. A hypnotic rhythmic chant of 16 words has replaced LSD and other drugs for some in New York's East Village. On 2nd Avenue and 1st Street is a storefront in which a Swami has set up shop. There, his American disciples are learning about Krishna consciousness.
Someone told you the story, you wouldn't believe it. Here he is. He's 70 years old. He has no money. He has no contacts. He has none of the things that makes for success. He's starting an effort, and it turns into an international movement.
I want to bring one revolution against materialistic civilization. That is my ambition, so that the whole world may be happy.
Prabhupada came to America in an extraordinary time.
All we say to America is be true to what you said on paper.
Everyone was questioning. Everyone was searching for a better way of life.
Turn on, tune in, drop out.
Timothy Leary came along with the drug bandwagon, but that wasn't good enough. We wanted an alternate reality that wasn't drug-induced.
And suddenly this new force from the East was coming in. People began to look towards India.
So Prabhupada got here right at that historical moment in time. He walked right into the middle of it.
Everyone is thinking, I'm American, I'm Indian, I'm European, I'm Australian, but I am not this body. I am spirit soul. Our mission is to see everyone become happy. We don't want to see that we exploit somebody else and I become happy. No. We want to see everyone happy, but they do not know how to become happy.
I was simply loitering on the street of New York. Seeing the people
without any friend, without any means, practically just like a vagabond.
Prabhupada was staying in an office building, moving from one office to another.
Coldest winter in memory. The states of New York federal disaster areas. 4 to 8 more inches tonight.
He had no idea what snow would be like. He never saw snow.
My ambition was to start temple here in New York. Some of my books, Srimad Bhagavatam, and I was personally selling these books to the booksellers with great difficulty. New York is a very expensive city. Not that, not that. The whole stock and my typewriter, my table, everything was stolen. In this way, I become very much depressed. And I was going to the shipping company when the next ship is going to India. I'm not very much hopeful that I wrote one poetry. Because now you have brought me in this country, what can I do? But because you have brought me here, must be there is some purpose. All right, make me dance anyway.
Traditionally, Swami's yogis and masters all moved uptown to the rich and were sponsored and funded by the rich, and you would find Krishnamurti living in elegant apartments on the Upper East Side, with drawing rooms and French furniture. And here was Bhaktivedanta, like in the depths of Calcutta, where the hippies were, and where the acid heads were, and the freaks and the amphetamine heads and the meth monsters. So it seemed like he was actually bringing some kind of ray of song and light to the right place, the lower depths where it was needed.
Rather than being a hippie, I was more of a seeker, a spiritual seeker, because I didn't have long hair and I didn't really identify with the alternative and revolutionary movement. But there was something inside me that was searching for something else. The way I first met Prabhupada was I was on a crosstown bus in Manhattan on Grand Street and ran into a person that I knew. And this person on a scrap piece of paper gave me an address and he said, "This is the address of an Indian Swami. He's lecturing 3 times a week and I think you should go there." When I first met Prabhupada, I was very impressed with the fact that he was elderly and that he was very learned and that he was alone. And that made me feel like I really had to help.
I was wandering in the street and some of the boys saw me and gradually they came to me.
The marvelous thing about Prabhupada was that he was so, no other word but loving. He accepted them, he welcomed them into the temple.
Plus he could cook like nobody's business. You know, the food was a slam dunk.
They came for love feast. And every Sunday I was giving nice food stuff, at least 200 men. And daily at least 15, 20. I was cooking myself.
So not only was it delicious and healthy, but it would be something even sacred.
Most of my students, they were under the spell of this LSD, but they are given up everything. They don't eat meat, they don't want wine, they don't want cigarettes, nothing. My mission is to preach the philosophy of chanting Hare Krishna. This transcendental vibration is equally appealing to everyone without any question of language, nationality, creed or caste, because it is coming forth from the depth of the soul.
There was some arrangement for my going to England after my college education to become barrister. My father refused, no. My father wanted me to become like this. Know everything, what is going on. He never wanted me to be a worldly man, earning money. He never wanted. We were sleeping. Father was doing arati. Ting, ting, ting. Puja was his main business.
I requested my father, Father, give me this deity I shall worship. So Father purchased for me little Krishna, Radha, and I was imitating.
The stars, basic grain of rice, is not man-made. It is sent by God. It is God's mercy. This is not wrong.
Historically, India is a place where it was the normal life for everyone to live in harmony with God's will. It was a culture where the focus of everything was so much in devotion to Krishna.
That spiritual culture of India acknowledges that throughout history, humanity has always needed spiritual revival at different moments. 500 years ago, the pioneer of Krishna devotion, the great teacher, Sri Chaitanya, appeared into the troubled world of 1500s India.
The movement of Sri Chaitanya was a movement of sacred sound, and people would gather in the street and they would sing and dance.
Chaitanya decided to take his bhakti movement, his devotional movement, to all the corners of India. He had inspired thousands, if not millions of people to take up the chanting of the holy names of Krishna.
And people were trying to understand, well, what is this revolution for? It was for equality of the soul, to understand that we are not these bodies, and that we are all brothers and sisters, children of God. Wherever there's life, there is sacredness.
And in Sankirtan, all people, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Parsi, everyone joined. And they're going street to street, entering in every house.
Then Prabhupada did something unusual for America. He decided it was time to take the chanting and the music and the dancing out onto the streets as Chaitanya had done 500 years earlier.
Drum or anything. He would just, whatever he had, just bonk on it just to make a little sound to keep the rhythm. But he had the name. He chanted with so much faith that it just drew a universe of people to him.
He understood what could happen if the chanting of Hare Krishna made its appearance on a world stage.
If they take to these chanting, transcendental vibration, mind will be clear, and they see their actual identity.
The thing that's extraordinary about the 60s is that there were so many things being thrown into question. The world's in desperate place. We're destroying the planet. We're destroying one another. There has to be some other solution.
As a young man, Srila Prabhupada was looking for that. He was a Gandhian.
I was a student of Gandhi. In 1920, I joined the non-cooperation movement.
Prabhupada had been attracted to Gandhi's movement because it was a nonviolent demonstration of protest against circumstances that were intolerable. But something happens when he meets his spiritual master, and he's reminded that there's another kind of revolution going on that's much more important, for a higher purpose, not a political end, but a spiritual end.
In 1922, I was taken to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati by one of my friends. He said, why don't you preach this message in the Western countries? I was so much struck with wonder. I could understand that here is the proper person who can give a real religious side. I would have immediately joined, but now I'm married. So many responsibilities, it will be injustice. But I accepted him as my spiritual God. In my heart. At that time, I was running my big pharmacy. I was very well-known man as the proprietor of the pharmacy. My business was flourishing.
Then there's another more urgent request from his guru, this time in the form of a letter.
Try to preach whatever you have learned from me to people in English. That will do good to you and to the people to whom he shall preach. That is my instruction. And then he passed away in 1936.
It was an intense period of writing, getting those first 3 books of the Srimad Bhagavatam published. He was able to synthesize a vast library of Sanskrit wisdom texts down to their essence and transpose that into a language that people of the 20th and 21st centuries can understand. In this one text, the entire expanse of creation is described.
This book has the potential to lead a revolution in consciousness, which he felt was the need of the hour.
He said that he would like to go to America. I was surprised. I said, Swamiji, don't go there. You are too old to go, and it will be too cold for you. I said, are you crazy? The old man, you are going to die. Who will look after you? What will you do then? Still he insisted. So I said, all right. So I made arrangement for him to go by Jaladutta.
So we're talking with Swami H.C. Bhaktivedanta. Hello, Swamiji? Yes. What is the perfection of this life? The perfection of this life is to understand oneself. This is the beginning. Why I am suffering? If there is any solution of this suffering, so know yourself. Yes. Know yourself. Yes.
More and more, these young Americans, they came to me. Then I registered this Krishna Consciousness Society in 1966.
They didn't have any idea what he was doing, and he assured them, well, this is what we're going to be.
And he would turn the globe, and he was studying all the countries of the world. And sometimes he would say, Brahmananda, you shall go to Russia. Gorsinder, you go to Japan. And his plan was to send people all over the world. But you have to realize, we only had about 12 teenagers.
So he was looking into the eyes of each one of us, saying, I want each one of you to open a temple somewhere. And at that time, I was so young and so impetuous. And I was only 16 years old. And I just said, even the girls? Prabhupada looked at me and he said, there is no difference between the boys and the girls. When you are teaching Krishna consciousness, there is no difference.
He embodied spirituality, and his disciples wanted it. They said, we want some of that. Whatever it is he's having, I want that. So this is the guru.
So many hippies were really in love with Prabhupada and in love with the devotees and considered Hare Krishna to be the hippie religion at this point.
If everyone in the United States believed in Krishna to the extent that you do, what would happen to this country? How would it be transformed?
They'll be very happy and peaceful. There will be no more hippies.
What would you describe as a hippie? Someone who smokes.
You know better than me. Something extraordinary.
We had a wonderful life there. It was just wonderful. It couldn't be any better. It was as good as it could get. I mean, it was like a family. Then one day, he was trembling all over. Swamiji had a heart attack. He was, from all appearances, leaving this world. And so the devotees were fervently praying all night in San Francisco, all night in New York. We were praying to Krishna, please don't take him away. He's just come here. Please, we need more time.
We never had the feeling that he was ailing and old, but that he was the leader of the movement, and we just depended on him. We couldn't imagine what life would be like without him.
The heart was so weak. Health is broken. I was very sick. I thought, now I shall not exist. So let me go to Vrindavan and die there.
We were really distraught because we felt if he goes to India, he's going to stay there. And we didn't know what to do.
We were lost. We just couldn't accept the idea that he might never come back. For 5 months we grieved.
Then we received word that Prabhupada was better. We got him back. Now we had to step it up. We had to learn as much from him as we could.
From the outset, our intention had been, let's do something really big for Prabhupada. And there wasn't much bigger in 1968 than the Beatles. We got news that the Beatles had been in Rishikesh, in India, studying with a guru there. And then Life magazine came out with this huge spread. Their new records came out with all these songs about Eastern philosophy that we had loved so much. So I came up with this idea. Go to London and start a center for Prabhupada and meet these Beatles. The first thing that we realized when we got to England is that in order to stand out, for people to recognize us in this huge metropolis, we're going to have to shave our heads. Up to that time, the thought of shaving my curly hair was atrocious to me. I didn't want to do it. Nor did we want to wrap these bed sheets around us. We named ourselves Radha Krishna Temple, the rock group. We began getting engagements at rock concerts. We used to almost daily go down to the Apple offices and give the staff and everyone there the food, books. Unbeknownst to us, George Harrison had got a hold of the Swami's record called Krishna Consciousness. And he told me later that he was listening to it almost every day. George came down to see us where we were living in our warehouse in Covent Garden.
He so much appreciated the Hare Krishna mantra that he immediately said, let's make a 45 record.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna.
It sold 70,000 copies the first day.
Apple organized tours for us. We went to Germany and France and had television coverage.
Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare.
The Sunday Times wanted to do a feature on us, and we were able to send the report back to Srila Prabhupada with the headlines, Krishna Consciousness Startles London.
And he said to me at a certain time, I want to do songs for Krishna. We were backstage in Apple, and he says, here's this song, and he plays My Sweet Lord.
Hare Krishna.
The music really was the key that opened the door into the yoga and the Vedic scriptures, which is really the foundation of everything. You know, it gave some sort of backbone to our life. Krishna said, there's no time when we didn't exist, and there'll be no time when we cease to exist. The only thing that changes is the body.
When George introduced this, it went worldwide.
Life was an adventure. He'd call me in and say, we got invitations to Paris, Bombay, Sydney, and one just arrived from Nairobi. Where do you think we should go? By then I knew to say the wildest place. I think we should go to Nairobi. I was thinking the same thing. He always wanted to go where there was least development, where he could contribute the most.
Go
The energy that he displayed was unimaginable. I was in my early 20s and I could not keep up with it.
And then around the late 60s to the early 70s, ISKCON just exploded. People were joining left and right.
He managed to manage everything through his letters.
Prabhupada would be receiving mail from hundreds of students, and he would personally write to every one of them. Prabhupada never got a letter that he didn't answer.
One has to know the Supreme Personality of Godhead by the grace of the Supreme Personality of God. He reveals. He cannot be understood by speculation. Athapite deva padambujadam.
He would translate usually after everyone else was asleep. I'll say from 11 till 3, 4 in the morning.
The first necessity is that you should be self-sufficient. That is God's arrangement.
Prabhupada advocated living in harmony with nature and having self-sustaining farms, and to also take advantage of all of the gifts that God has given us and not try to artificially change them, but take them as they come, as a gift from nature.
Everywhere people went, there were Hare Krishnas. Comedians would always tell jokes about the Hare Krishnas in the airports.
Dinner in first class tonight will be bean sprouts and broccoli. Fine. And will that be chanting or non-chanting? Chanting, please.
Krishna became a household word and became part of the cultural scene.
You with the banjo, can you help me? I have lost my sense of direction.
Have you tried Hare Krishna?
No.
Let me ask you, in reincarnation, does that mean my soul would pass to another human being, or would I come back as a moose or an aardvark or something?
Take our literature, read it over, and think about
I left the supermarket in a really bad mood. And then I met these very nice people, the Hare Krishnas. They sang me a song, they gave me some rice. It was just the little pickup I needed. You know, if I hadn't had to make dinner, I might have gotten into their van.
I understand, but do you feel that in the Bible and the Quran and so forth, don't you run into conflicts at all or contradictions in those particular philosophies?
No, I don't find any conflict because the ultimate goal is God. So you have to understand God and try to love Him. So you can go through any religious process. If the goal is attained, that you understand what is God and you try to love Him, then your life is perfect.
He was fearless and he was bold.
For years, he kept saying, I want to go to communist countries. Everyone said, no, that's not possible. You just can't go there. We had just passed through the missile crisis in Cuba. To give a visa to Americans to travel to Russia in 1971 was just unheard of. I don't know how it happened.
When I was in Moscow airport, as soon as they found Bhagavad Gita, they called police, custom checking. The policeman was kind enough. He said, not serious offense. Don't send him in the concentration camp.
As we would pass churches, he would see that there were armed guards in front of the churches. Nobody was going in and out. Prabhupada said after that the ordinary citizens of Russia are spiritual, but because of their leaders, they have no access to God anymore. I went to a bank to change some money. Outside the bank, there were two boys, and they came up to me. And they came back with me to meet Prabhupada. I gave him my Bhagavad Gita, and from that text, he was able to copy it
and translate it and spread it throughout all of Russia during communist times. And from that one little seed, thousands of Krishna devotees came up. We all got a letter in late September with a list of 20 names. I want these people to come and join me in India. I just looked on the list, my name was on it, I was over the moon. India at last.
And he brought back Westerners wearing saffron, shaved heads, seekers, sacred clay, and women in saris. I mean, this was an incredible sight.
Americans, Europeans, boys and girls. And it just took India by storm. India had never seen anything like this, these sadhus from the West.
Prabhupada brought his followers back to India because he wanted to revive and tell the people of India that the greatest treasure is the heritage of your own country. But you've forgotten it. You've neglected it. I've brought these people back to remind you of what you have forgotten.
India is famous with a spiritual culture. So when he came with so many white-skinned disciples, it was for India, they felt proud for that. Because our culture, Western world appreciate.
It's the Rath Yatra Festival coming to the heart of London from Jagannath Puri, India. There, it's a 2,000-year-old festival attended annually by over 1 million people. Here at Marble Arch, the number of worshippers may be less, but they are no less devoted to finding their eternal happiness in Krishna consciousness.
It was a victory for Prabhupada, this Rath Yatra going right down like the main byways there in London to Trafalgar Square. And he just danced and walked the entire way.
Many would consider members of the Hare Krishna sect to be little more than a noisy nuisance. They've been labelled dangerous religious fanatics and lumped together with cults, but the Krishnas say they're simply misunderstood.
The anti-cult movement developed this theory that anybody that would join one of these movements could not possibly have done so voluntarily. It had to be the victim of mind control, that they were brainwashed. And of course, Prabhupada admitted many times, yes, we are brainwashing. The brain is very dirty and we are cleaning it. This was a case, People versus Murphy. Criminal charges brought against 2 devotees in the Supreme Court of New York City. This was an attack on everything that we stand for.
Prabhupada said, our defense statement is the whole Srimad Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Gita, the nectar of devotion, the nectar of instruction. He said, you present all of our books. He said, let the case go on for years. But the more he got attacked, the more energized he became. He was a fighter. Prabhupada loved a good fight.
In the end, Justice Leahy of the New York Supreme Court said, quote, they were reaping the benefits of a bona fide religion with roots in India that go back thousands of years.
You know that was a big victory for Prabhupada.
Become Krishna conscious and chant and dance in ecstasy, emotional love of God. The whole world will follow you and it will be Vaikuntha. There will be no more trouble. Thank you very much.
Prabhupada believed that
Krishna's love would supersede any obstacle. The idea that God's love is more powerful than anything else, and that it will come like a tsunami down the street.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare.
He shared his particular love for his followers, and they shared love with each other. That is the heart of what holds his movement together. And that was his last request. If you love me, please work with each other despite differences.
My dear boys and girls, my warning is already there. I had a severe heart attack. So, the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is now in your hand.
He was not at all disturbed in his consciousness by the breakdown of his body. You could see, here's a person that really understands he's not this body. I was there when he was still translating the Bhagavatam 2 weeks before he left the planet.
I came to your country single-handed with these pair of symbols. Now, you are so many chanting Hare Krishna. That is my success.
Everything is active, moving by the supreme desire of Krishna. This consciousness is Krishna consciousness.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. One more time, let out. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna.